So we are back again. We are back again. Another press conference reaction. Mikel Arteta speaking to the media ahead of the Burnley game on Saturday, and he spoke about so many things. I think this is a press conference that he was joining with the Leicester City press conference, because we never had it. And he spoke about so many things. The loan watch, William Saliba. He spoke about Saliba on loan. He spoke about Mavropanos. He spoke about Emile Smith Rowe's injury, but most importantly, the rumors that are linking him with Barcelona. Because trust me, that is what I wanted to hear. This week, for me, it was my most interesting story, and we're going to be looking at Mikel Arteta's press conference and see what exactly did he say. He was being asked a couple of questions by journalists. Of course, my favorites, Charles Whites and Kainak. So smash like button and let us get down to the questions. First and foremost, he was asked about Saliba and Mavropanos, and he said we are having meetings very often to assess what they are doing. Obviously, we are getting all the information and watching their games because I want to keep a very close eye on what they are doing. We were talking yesterday with our loans manager Ben Napa, who is in charge of monitoring everything we are doing. We are in contact with the players, and let's see. It's good news that they are playing, and good news that they have the possibility to have a lot of minutes, because it's going to give us much better perception of where they are and how we can actually use them. I've never seen Mavropanos play for us, and for me it seems like he seems like that player that is always going to be out on loan and then finally gets throughout the day. William Saliba has a big future at Arsenal. I still believe that there is a big future for him. Apart from the media scenarios that he's always involving himself with, but I think he has a big future if Mikel Arteta does give him the chance. He did talk about Edin Nketiah's game time, and he said he needs to play. We wanted to use him a bit more in some occasions, and we didn't. To be fair, when he's played well, but but at his age, for what he's done in the last 2 or 3 seasons, he needs more games and minutes. Again, another player that I don't feel is going to be very significant in building up Arsenal is Edin Nketiah. Being an Arsenal for him is an advantage, of course, a big one. Of course, for me, I think he can make a big move to Newcastle. Is that a big move anyway? But I think he can join Newcastle or Southampton, because at his age he has proven that he could be a very good striker. But I don't see him as a top striker that can become that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, that Thierry Henry, that kind of striker that is reliable for Arsenal. And at the end of the day, I still think Arsenal will let Edin Nketiah go, whether we like it or not. He was asked about the rumors of linking him to Barcelona. And he said there is always going to be speculation when there is elections in Barcelona. It's a huge team, obviously. I was raised there as a player, and there is always going to be links, but I'm fully focused on the job that I have to do here, which we have to do a lot, and I'm really enjoying it. I say today and tomorrow I'm the manager of Arsenal Football Club, and I'm really enjoying it, and I want to do much better than we have done. Yeah, those rumors, like I say, that for me, that is my story of the week. Mikel Arteta to Barcelona. That would be, I think, the biggest move for a manager. You come from a caretaker, then you take up an Arsenal move, and then after that you take up a Barcelona move. It would be absolutely crazy, insane. I think Mikel Arteta would be one of the luckiest managers there. But I think, like he said, he needs to focus on that Arsenal job. It could open doors for him. I think it could open doors for him. Right now, you don't have so many good managers. So many clubs struggling to find managers. And apart from, Miguel Nagelsmann at RB Leipzig, I don't see any younger managers coming up, with a big threat like, you saw Jurgen Klopp 3-4 years ago when he was at Mainz or, Borussia Dortmund. You don't see those, young managers. And if Mikel Arteta, like he is rated at, in Europe, if he becomes that kind of manager that can win silverware, that kind of manager that is good at man management, that kind of manager that can actually win trophies, I think he's gonna have doors opened for him, courtesy of the Arsenal job. There are also rumors that he might be given a new contract, which I do not believe, but I think at the end of the season that is going to be discussed. But for now, I look at it as something that is a little bit far, out of discussion or out of context. Arteta on Lacazette's future, he said he's got a contract with us. He's played really well the other week. It's exactly what we demand him to do. I am really happy with him, and the discussions about his contract will happen soon, and we'll see what happens. I think this is a done deal. We know what's going to happen. Alexander Lacazette is going to leave, and Arsenal are trying to replace him with Andre Silva or Hudson Edward. One of those who I think should be Hudson Edward joining Arsenal, but Lacazette, I think if we give him a contract, it's going to be terrible business. It's going to be, for me, it's going to be the worst deal in the summer if we give Alexander Lacazette or Granit Xhaka a contract extension. These are players that need to leave, and there's so many people on this channel who tell me I'm wrong about Granit Xhaka because he's played 10 consecutive games, well, and you forget that he's failed at Arsenal Football Club for 3 consecutive years. That's the problem with Arsenal fans. You're easily carried away when someone gives you 2-3 good performances. You forget that this person has been a lot of shit for 4-5 years. And I think Xhaka, Lacazette, I can't they can't impress me to a point where I need to give them a new contract. It just can't happen. Mikel Arteta, Balogun's future, and there is something very, very, very interesting about Balogun. Like I said in the previous video, I will talk about Balogun's future in this one. He did say that he's pretty positive about it. Every time I spoke to him, he mentioned the same thing, that he's determined to stay here, that he wants to stay here. We have had some really positive conversations with his agent as well. Edu is in charge of that. And what is funny is Balogun wants to earn the same amount of money like Bukayo Saka at Arsenal. Of course, that is according to his agent, his representative. They want him to get 40,000 per week. He's not playing professional football. Of course, they are also demanding more, game minutes, in top level competitions, which I think should be the core, point in negotiation of, for a deal, for a striker like Balogun. You're 19, you're 18. What you need is to establish yourself out there. Get some, good time, and probably you can think about the money in the next 1 or 2 years, because right now if Saka is going to renew his contract, it's going to be talking about 70, 80 or 100k per week, and I think he has earned it. So if his agent is asking for 40k or 50k, I don't think Arsenal will give that money. I don't think we shall pay that much for his services. And I don't want to be a little bit negative, because I know how much Balogun is loved at the Arsenal football club, and know how many fans and how much they do love him as a striker. He's very, very clinical. One of those actually very young strikers that are so clinical. I think I would think, if you give him time, he's going to become a Patrick Bamford in the next year, and probably become a Hurricane or something like that, in the next 2 or 3 years. But right now, I think, it's too much. It's too much on, to demand 40k for a player who's not actually playing, for the first team. Arteta on what would happen in the transfers in the summer. He said we are planning what's going to happen in the summer. It will depend where we finish and how we finish in some cases. Everything is planned, so let's see what the market can bring and what the last few months can bring us. It depends where we finish. Now, it's interesting. It's like, you mean if we won the league miraculously, of course, we will not sign players. That's what it means. But I think, first and foremost, in the summer, we need to drive out Deadwood. I agree with that. And I know we shall do it. But it doesn't depend on where we finish, because it's going to be very clear. We might finish 10th, 9th, or 8th. And that means you're really going to find it hard to attract players. And now, that should not be an excuse that you can't sign maybe House Semawa, you can't sign Tariq Lamptey because you finished 8th or 9th. But let us see in the summer. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. The summer is 3 months away because we are in the third month of the year, and the transfer window is going to open in July. That is the 7th month of the year, so we have a lot of time to reflect on transfers, deal with rumors, and see who actually gets the highest speeds when it comes to rumors. On injuries, he said for the rest, hopefully everybody will be okay apart from Emil Smith-Rowe, and he said Emil had a scan yesterday. It doesn't look a significant injury, but he was in discomfort. That is according to Mikel Arteta, so we don't have a lot when it comes to injuries. Emil Smith-Rowe's injury latest. Emil Smith-Rowe limped off the pitch against Leicester City, and we're expecting updates on the 20-year-old's problem this early morning from Mikel Arteta, who did say that, of course, it's not a big problem. So that is what he said in his press conference. He said he did it a little bit earlier because for the fact that the match is on Saturday, I don't know what pushed him to do the press conference on Wednesday. He always does them on Thursday, and then we react to them on Thursday or Friday. But I never wanted to change my schedule, so I wanted to react on it today on Thursday. So basically, for me, the points that I can pick out of there, first and foremost, the Barcelona rumors. He has written them off, saying that you're always going to have, rumors and a lot of links when Barcelona are in elections. Of course, it's like the politics is always going to force those candidates to, try to promise, heaven and earth, heaven and hell, and someone says, would I vote for someone who says, I want to bring Mikel Arteta to Barcelona if you vote me in power? That's a little bit ridiculous, isn't it? But anyway, so I think that was a big one. And also, Florian Balogun's contract, and even last summer, Mikel Arteta was saying Balogun wants to stay. Apart from this January transfer window, when he looked so unsure, and he was about to say, I think he's gonna leave, but he never said it. And now he still says Balogun wants to stay. He wants, a good contract. He wants playing time. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box whether you would swap Odsonne-Edouard for Balogun, because I think it's a deal Celtic can do. They need a striker. Obviously, if they are letting Odsonne-Edouard go, they will need a striker, and you would give them Edin Nketiah. But for the quality of Celtic, I don't think they would take Nketiah, but they can take Balogun. I think he's a prolific finisher, by the way. And like many journalists say, especially Charles Peng, losing such a talent for a club like Arsenal, it happens on daily. It happens on in a monthly or annual basis. We always lose talented players, but truth is, I would want him to stay at the club. Emil Smith-Rowe's injury, it doesn't look so big, but he had a little bit of discomfort, so we expect him to come back as soon as possible. There is nothing to be afraid of in regards to that. What else? What did we talk about? The summer, which I know is very interesting, and I'm going to name this video after the summer signing, so don't think it's a scam. The summer story is in there, but I think he said that even in December, when we were going into the January transfer window, and he said that everything had been planned out and so on and so forth. And I want to believe him, because when you look at the way we signed Matt Ryan, it wasn't so much of a flex. It was actually an easy deal to do. Martin Odegaard still, you look, we had a couple of competition, from Real Sociedad and a couple of other Spanish clubs, but you see, again, we beat off that competition easily, so with a lot of ease. It tries to tell me that maybe Arsenal has planned out East January and transfer summers, like Mikel Arteta is saying, and the ease with which we let some players go, apart from Scotland Mustafi, because the conditions were with Schalke 04 that they do not let go of Ozan Kabak to Liverpool if they do not get a replacement. So what Arsenal actually did was to offer a replacement to Ozan Kabak, who was Mustafi, cancelled his contract, and then he got football at Schalke 04. Probably if he says the summer is planned out, then I'm gonna assure you it's gonna be boring. first and foremost. Because for me, what makes the summer transfer window is the speculation. They are the rumors, and of course, any fan will tell you the summer is one of the most interesting parts of football. The game is so crazy, wild in the summer. You're linked with Neymar, you're linked with Haaland, you're linked with Odson, we're linked with Lamptey, you're linked with Bissouma. Right now, I think I've done stories about I think around 10 players linked with Arsenal, and the summer, like I said, is 4 months away. So by that time, we shall have been linked with almost 20, 35, or 40 players, and I think it's going to be it's going to be very boring if it has been planned out. I think for me, I would prefer a summer where you just brainstorming. You wake up one day and you're like, we need a right back. Yes, Max Aaron is a good one. Tariq Lamptey is a good one. We are going for Trent. And everybody's like, what? Arsenal is going for Trent. But anyway, like I said, let us not get ahead of ourselves. We shall actually look, more on more of the summer stories when we reach around May, exactly May, because that is where the transfer window is opening, and all agents are speaking out, and players have started thinking about switching clubs. We have the Euros, in the summer, so it might not be as interesting because we have football in there, but I expect it not to bore us. Please don't give us a very, very, boring transfer summer. For now, I'm signing out. I'll come back tomorrow in the morning when I talk about the predicted lineup, and of course, tomorrow I'll share the match preview, Arsenal Burnley, what I think about that game. We lost the first leg, by the way. Something that I even don't believe, how we lost the first leg to Burnley. An own goal from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, if you still remember, and someone got a red card for strangling, a player, Granit Xhaka. But I think he's changed so much, and many Arsenal fans are in love with him. So we shall talk about that and more tomorrow. Burnley, how we can beat Burnley. They play a load block. So if you're gonna beat them, you need a lot of unlocking players, and I think we do have that, or we do have such players in our squad. For now, I sign out.